All right, so in order to create the displacement map, the main thing I really want to be displacing or using to alter a background is the lad's body, not the leaves in the background. I'm going to duplicate the main image and put one behind the background for safekeeping. I need to unlock the background. Okay, so starting with another way of selecting, I'm going to do select color range. And I'm going to sample the green leaves and click the plus to add more to the selection. This is a really fancy, quick way. I know I've shown this before, but definitely worth talking about again. This is a really great way of making a selection when you have a foreground and a background that are very different colors. Okay, and I'll click OK. Then I can see my marching ants, and I'll turn on the quick mask tool, which shows what is selected and what is not selected.
What tool was that again?
Quick mask. Quick mask.
Where was that?
If you look on screen, it's right here. Quick mask. There you go. All right, so now I'm going to paint, making sure my brush is at 100% with a larger brush here, and fill in all the area that I want to fill in. And I'm going to make it quite large to get all of this selected. Holding the shift key, I can make straight select areas. And while I, again, because of time, am not going to try and spend an hour or 20 minutes on selecting this, it is going to be close enough for your understanding of how to do this. Now, in the body area itself, there are quite a mass of pink pixels that are going to not be helpful when I want this at least more cleanly selected than this. So, with the eraser tool, or better yet, with a white brush, I need to make sure that there's no selected areas in the skin here. And if you turn quick mask off, you can see if there's any marching ants in the body. And I don't think I have any now. And I can turn quick mask back on. If you double click your quick mask button, you can change the color. Here, I'll make my quick mask blue. And turn it back on again. You can zoom. And this is just one way of making a selection quickly. Make sure I am filling this properly. And I'll smooth the shoulder. All right, so I can see there's a bunch of blue in the hair. So what you're attempting to do is separate the background and the foreground. All right, I'm going to pause here and give you some time to work on what you're doing. All right, so now I have selected everything. I have my black and white dude that I have levels adjusted and blurred, and I've saved it as a separate version. And I have my color dude, and now I have also placed in some art here. If I wanted to make this art be more colorful, right now I could do that. Command U, and this is where I could mess around with the lightness, so I have some gray in this. Okay, you should watch now and try to stop thinking about your own project for a second and just remember some of these things that we did. Okay, and now I could, let's just say, add a layer, and on this layer I will put a gradient of something I've already created, and I'm just going to be random with this, pink and blue. Okay, and I will now take that and overlay it into this artwork and flatten it. Command E. Command E, merge layers. Now I'm duplicating this and putting one behind. This is what I'm going to displace. Filter, distort, displace, and click OK and do black and white, and it will wrinkle. It is now wrinkled. Okay, hang in there. Now I'm going to choose to put this on overlay. Yeah, okay. Lined up really well. Now check it. Check it out. Please look. Don't be working now. You're missing a major step if you're working. I'm going to do load selection, and I'm loading the selection that I saved called Dude. And that is actually the background. So if I click the mask, it's going to mask the opposite thing, right? So I'm going to undo that. The easier way to do this is just to go select inverse. This is the same thing I did in the last tutorial, a version of this, and then click add layer mask. So now we have our guy. If you can't see that that distortion is helping a lot, then again I'm going to bring up this layer, okay, hide this, select this, put it on overlay, and I mean it's okay like that, but it does look a lot more realistic like this. There's little ripples and things that are the distorted that make this look, go in and out, gives it this sense of distance. Okay, so I don't want his face tattooed, but I want to keep using this mask. So before I do anything else, I'm gonna watch please. I'm going to put this under and option click and drag to copy. And now I've just spaced out. Okay, I'm back. All right, so I'm also going to put it there. There we go. And on this one, I actually don't need the mask, so I'm going to throw it away. It's going to ask me what to do about that, and I'm just going to say, well, just delete that. Okay. All right, so the background is gone. The foreground is masked. Now on this version of the mask, this is where I'm going to zoom in, Command plus, and use my black brush to restore his eye properly. And again, I'm just going to do it quickly for you. And zooming out, I'm going to add another layer on top of the existing layer. I'm going to fill it with white, Command A, Option Delete, and offset its transparency. Kind of fun. Okay, if you set this on something other, like overlay, and then you change the color of this, you can create a whole other effect. So I'm just going to throw some green on there. Okay. All right. Does it make more sense this time? All right. It is in the recording, so I'll give you a few more minutes to play with that. I really want to go downstairs and grab myself something to drink.